3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to the Horror Chronicles, your gateway to uncovering the mysteries of the past. In today's video, we embark on a fascinating exploration of the 9 worlds of Yggdrasil, the ancient Norse cosmology that sparks intrigue and curiosity. Just like our previous journeys into the depths of history, this exploration promises to be a captivating and enlightening experience. Join us as we delve into the realms of Asgard, Jotunheim, Alfheim, and more, unraveling the rich tapestry of Nordic mythology. Prepare yourself for an immersive adventure through the realms of Yggdrasil, where gods, giants, and magical beings converge. The Horror Chronicles, where history and mythology intertwine to bring you stories that will leave you spellbound. To stay updated on all the latest realistic horror stories, please subscribe to my channel and check out the previous stories if you haven't already. By subscribing, you will receive notifications for future updates, so please hit the subscribe button, and if you enjoy this video, I kindly ask you to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Let's aim to reach 1,000 likes together. Do you know which worlds you live in? Do you know what your world name is? I do not mean the spiritual world such as the world of atoms, the world of Isthmus, and others, but I mean the worlds of the Yggdrasil tree or the 9 worlds. Well, if you do not know what I am talking about, then allow me to discuss with you what I have learned about the 9 worlds, and please share your opinion with me in the comments. First, I have a question for you. Have you seen the Thor movie? Let me guess. The answer is yes. The world in which Thor lives is Asgard, and it is one of the 9 worlds in this video today. I will not talk about the cinematic drama, but I will tell you about the source of this drama, which is Nordic cosmology, which left manuscripts in the time of the Vikings talking about worlds, and that our world is the world. The middle one is in the Tree of Realms called Yggdrasil. Scandinavian cosmology mentions that the Yggdrasil tree or Yggdrasil is a high elm tree whose roots have 4 worlds, and in the middle of it is the human world, and its branches are in the sky, and it has 4 other worlds, traveling through its folds. The word Yggdrasil consists of 2 parts, the first Wig the mare, and the second the fearful Drasil, meaning together the fearful horse Odin's horse, and this name came after Odin hanged himself from the top of one of the branches of the tree. It belongs to a complex religious, historical and cosmic system shared by the Scandinavians and Germans alike, and this matter began to develop since the time of the emergence of the first religions. The Yggdrasil has 2 families of gods. The first family is the supreme family called the Aesir, and the second family is the lowest called the Vanir. Those who determine the fates of all the creatures of the universe are a group of 3 virgins called the Norns, who decide the life paths of all races by carving runes on the trunks of Yggdrasil of the 9 worlds. The names of the Norns are Jordard meaning the past, Verdandi meaning the present, Skuld meaning the future. Unlike all languages, the letters of the runic language are not like any other language. Each letter is a symbol that carries a divine power or a cosmic principle, and your writing of the runic language means access to higher divine powers, which may rewrite your destiny. Did you know that Odin was so jealous that he hanged himself in order to gain wisdom? Do not be alarmed by the word hanged, as according to Nordic beliefs, he is still alive. The supreme god Odin, the absolute god of the Yggdrasil tree, was sitting on his throne in Asgard and watching the Norns and their powers and knowledge. and since he was crazy about possessing knowledge and power, he decided to study the runes and even rewrite them. Runes are not for anyone, but it is a science that everyone who dares to learn must be confident in his abilities to gather its strength and depth of meaning. And for this, Odin stabbed himself with his spear, and hanged himself on a branch of Yggdrasil for 9 days and 9 nights, and strictly prohibited any other god from trying to help him or assist him in his mission. And when he was looking down and seeing misty creatures, he was sure that the spirit of knowledge of the runes would accept his sacrifice, and he kept bleeding while hanging without a single drop of water until the end of the 8th night. And at this time, when Odin drew near for a moment between life and death, the runes accepted Odin's sacrifice and began to appear to him, not only in its physical form, but with all the secrets that shrouded. With these runic sciences, Odin became the most powerful god in the Norse universe, as he was able to heal the sick, revive the dead, and use the power of his enemies as a weapon against them. Some cosmologists have found similarities between Odin's sacrifice and the crucifixion of Jesus. 1. The two were stabbed with spears. 2. During the time of their suspension, they were suffering, and none of them asked for help. 3. The two sacrificed themselves in order to serve a higher cause. 4. Jesus was crucified for 3 days. Odin spent his time hanging within 9 days, which is a multiplication 3x3. Yggdrasil springs. The Yggdrasil tree has 3 branches extending into 3 springs. The first called Jord, which is where the realm of Asgard is located, where the gods hold their daily meetings. The second is Hvergelmir, and extends to the realm of Niflheim, home of mist and darkness. The third is Memsburner, and extends to the world of Jotunheim, the world of giants. There is no complete confirmed map that defines the features of Yggdrasil, and this is because all the sources about it do not contain a description of the 9 worlds together in detail. But there are opinions of some Nordic scholars that Yggdrasil has only 2 axes that carry all the worlds. The 9 realms. I told you about Yggdrasil itself, so will you let me tell you about the worlds that this tree holds? I will consider your answer as yes, because I do not hide from you the news that I want the sequel. The kingdom of Asgard, the kingdom of the gods, or the world of the captive gods, is located at the top of the Yggdrasil peak. This world is ruled by the god Odin, the head of the captives, with his wife Frigg and his son Thor. Inside Asgard, there is a place called Valhalla, which is where half of the souls of the dead who spent their lives in war battles go and await their resurrection to fight in Ragnarok and fulfill the prophecy. While the other half goes to a place called Valvanger and is ruled by the goddess Freya, although she is a Vanir goddess lower world, but lives in Asgard as a captive in a peacekeeping exchange of blood between the warring tribes. Asgard is described as a royal city with high golden towers surrounded by an incomplete great wall, in which the throne of Odin Hildeskaf is located, and through which he is able to follow what is happening in the 9 worlds. 2. Jotunheim, Kingdom of Giants, located below Asgard. Loki himself, the god of tricks, is one of the giants, but he lives in Asgard and may have started living there as a prisoner during the war between the realms. Between him and Asgard is a river called Eving, which is a river that never snows and is difficult to cross. But from time to time the gods cross it to perform a task, or to find a lover from the giants, and at times Odin goes there to consult Mimir, who is the wisest of creatures. 3. The Kingdom of Alfheim, the world of elves. The world of luminous elves is located in the sky. It is ruled by Freyr, the twin brother of Freya, and it is said that they are a couple. 4. Midgard, the realm of people. Midgard was created by Odin and his 2 brothers, Veli and Vi. They created the first man and the first woman. and they are the ones who will start the seed of the rest of human creatures, because Odin and his two brothers knew about the weakness of humans. They created Midgard for them to keep them away from the oppression of the giants, and made between Asgard and Midgard a communication bridge called Bifrost or Bridge. Rainbow. Midgard lies in the middle of the Yggdrasil tree, and is described as round in shape and surrounded by a deep, impassable sea, in which Odin sent to rule Jormungandr, the son of Loki too, who was large enough to encircle all of Midgard. 5. Muspelheim, Kingdom of Fire. It is one of the oldest worlds that were formed on the Yggdrasil tree in Scandinavian cosmology, and it is full of fire, lava, and flames, and it is ruled by the fire giant, Surtur. 6. Sephartalfheim, the world of dwarves. It is known as Nidavellir. Inhabitants are dwarves, and they are called black elves. There are some manuscripts that say that Sephartalfheim and Nidavellir were two different worlds, but they were merged to leave a place for the world of the dead, Helheim, Yggdrasil. The world of dwarfs is located under Midgard, where its inhabitants prefer to live in the dark, which name Svartalfheimi means the dark world in the Old Norse language. Dwarves live underground in this world, in holes lit only by their torches, and it is they who forge the most important and powerful weapons, such as Odin's spear Gengnir and Thor's hammer Mjolnir. 7. Niflheim, world of snow and fog. It is also one of the oldest worlds in the universe. It is filled with snow produced by the snow giants. It is a mixture of the icy air of Niflheim with the fiery air of Muspelheim. This mixture produced the goo that made Ymir, from which the giants sprang. In the Norse cosmos, this world contains the oldest springs in Yggdrasil and is protected by a dragon named Nihud, the source of 11 rivers. 8. Vanheim, world of Vanirs. It is the world of the Vanir deities, the lowest of the worlds, who were in a fierce war against the captive deities and exchanged prisoners between them to keep the peace. What the Scandinavian sciences mentioned is that the war began because the Vanir interfered in the captives' forbidden magical practices. Vanheim is not described in detail in any of the sources of Scandinavian cosmology, but they assume that it is the world of fertility and magic, where its gods are famous for fertility and magic. 9. Helheim, realm of the dead. It is ruled by Hel, the daughter of Loki, who is the sister of Jormungandr and Fenrir. When these three were born, Odin knew that they were troublemakers. So he decided to keep them apart by giving them worlds to rule, in order to remove the harm that could be caused together and prevent serious dangers. The kingdom of Helheim belonged to Hel, and lies at the bottom of Yggdrasil. The kingdom of Helheim represents the realm of the dead, who, if they perish in battle, like the young, the old, and the sick, the dead reach Helheim via a road called Helvage and must cross a bridge placed over a river of arms. In this bridge their way is to the only gate in Helheim, which is surrounded by a very strong wall. It is difficult for the dead to leave Helheim, and it is said that even Odin could not use his divine powers to remove his son Balder from Helheim, and knowing that Hel, the ruler of the world of the dead, has the ability to remove any body from there. He asked her to remove his son, and she agreed on the condition that all living and dead creatures cry for him to confirm his cosmic popularity. Everyone agreed except for a giant witch, who turned out to be Loki. And he was undercover because he had orchestrated Balder's death in the first place as a prelude to the Battle of Ragnarok. Ragnarok prophecy, bloody battle. I know I have piqued your interest since the first time I mentioned the word Ragnarok, and it is time for me to explain to you what Ragnarok is. Simply put, Ragnarok is the battle of the fate of the gods, or in a more correct sense, the day of resurrection for the Norse concepts. It is the battle that will end the universe and will be between Odin and his allies, Loki and his allies, Nothing will remain of the cosmic collapse in the 9 worlds after the fulfillment of the Ragnarok prophecy. When Ragnarok begins, Loki, the god of tricks, will prepare with his 3 sons for war. Hel will sail with her father, Loki, to Asgard in a ship made of the nails of the hands and feet of the dead, which will be pulled from its moorings by earthquakes that herald the end of the universe. Earthquakes and the demolition of mountains in the 9 worlds that will come before Ragnarok will allow Surtur, the giant of fire, had to leave his kingdom and lead a war against Asgard, destroying it and turning it into ashes from his blazing sword. The sons of Fenrir, the 3rd son of Loki, will begin a long winter of 3 years. His first son, Skull, will swallow the sun, and the second, Hati, will swallow up the moon and the heavens. The air will be polluted with blood, and the earth and mountains will fall. And the prophecy will begin to be fulfilled until the gods are eliminated, and it was said that from the ashes of Ragnarok, the universe will be rebuilt. Even knowing the prophecy and who will fight against whom, who will be spared from the war, and what will happen during the war, it is their destiny that they decide to fight, knowing the results. Conclusion: all of these concepts are from the Viking manuscripts. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel to receive all new